Hello, look at this beautiful day. We are spring colors. I am sitting down for a 12 video series. So we are going to be doing this once a month. And I am so excited to be here. I think this is going to be one of our best live stream series because it's not every or something that people do every day. So this is the Stop Smoking Lady, and we are calling this series Hypnosis for Health. So, we are going to dive into some really cool, unique topics. We're going to talk about tips today. She actually has 10 tips on how to stop smoking on your own. So, Helena, can you introduce yourself and tell everyone who you are and kind of what you do?
Sure. I'm Helena Jehnichen, and I'm fairly new to Kelowna. I come from Vancouver Island, but I'm a hypnotist. I'm a certified clinical hypnotherapist, and I help people stop smoking, quit vaping, often in just one session. And I also help people with other issues, and we'll be talking about more in the series, like gut-directed hypnotherapy for IBS, stomach discomfort. I help people with fears and phobias, flying, driving, public speaking, spiders.
Okay.
And I do something very unique for weight loss. I know a lot of people are curious about weight loss, and it's called the Virtual Gastric Band Hypnosis Program. And it's an amazing program. No drugs, no pills, no shots.
Mhm.
And but today we're going to talk about how to stop smoking on your own. I'm going to give you 10 tips.
Okay, so you're a magician. Do you get
Yes,
that a
I
lot?
d I do. Actually, at the end of, sessions, often my clients are so happy, so relieved, that they've often got tears in their eyes. They finally free of the thing that's been bothering them for maybe decades. Yeah, I feel like a magician. It feels really good, and I love helping people.
Can you, before we talk about the 10 tips of how to stop smoking, can you just, for people that have no idea what hypnosis is, can you kind of just give us a brief, introduction to people that have maybe heard of it but don't really know what it is?
Sure. So hypnosis is ancient. It goes all the way back to the Egyptian times.
Cool.
They used to have hypnosis temples, sleep temples. But in more recent years, people might be familiar with stage hypnotists. They go onto stage. It's an entertainment show. The hypnotist will hypnotize volunteers on stage and they'll do funny things. But what I do is actually as a hypnotherapist, I help with specific issues, mostly medical, or physical, emotional issues. And we use the subconscious part of the mind. That's the really intelligent part of the mind that is, oh, they say 90 to 95% of the mind, where our habits are, our beliefs are, our morals, our ethics, our imagination, and all of our memories. So when we want to stop smoking or lose weight, we want to tap into that subconscious mind. And anybody can do it. So I'll share a little bit more on how to do that.
Amazing. Okay, so let's talk about how to stop smoking. So let's talk about tip one, stop thinking about quitting, decide to stop. What does this mean?
Absolutely. Um, I'll do a lot of consult calls with people that want to stop smoking, and I want to know how ready they are. Are they just thinking about it? Or are they really ready to stop? So, words are really important for the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is an order taker, and whenever you tell it over and over and over again, patterns, that's what it does. So, when people say, I'm going to try to stop smoking, what does that mean, Alexa? You've
Yeah.
heard people say, I'm going to
Yeah.
try to do something, not super committed,
Yeah.
not a definite decision. So when a person makes a decision to do something and draw that line in the sand,
Mhm.
then they're ready to make those changes right then and there.
Okay, so you need to be committed.
You need to be committed, yeah. Otherwise, there's excuses. It's a barbecue weekend. I'm going to go to a party. Oh, just one more. One won't hurt. Oh, I can't stop smoking because I'm so stressed at work. Or, I'm in a relationship. I'm getting divorced. I can't stop smoking now. So life happens, and there comes a point when you need to make that decision.
Okay, tip two, use the benefits approach. What is in it for me?
Absolutely. So, may I share a little secret with you
Yes, of
and the
course, the
audience?
secrets.
I used to be a smoker.
Oh,
Mhm. Used to be a
okay. How
smoker.
long did you smoke for?
I smoked for about 23 years. But get this, Alexa. So my first cigarette was at age 12.
I was gonna say it must have been grade 6.
So I hope my mom's not watching. And then throughout my teenage years, I started to smoke a little bit, always hiding it though.
Mm.
Most people didn't know I was a smoker unless I was at a party where I was, having drinks and stuff like that. But later on in life, I started working in health food stores. I love the nutrition industry. I think, herbs and vitamins and good food is really good. But I was a secret closet smoker.
Mhm.
And then about age 36, 37, I saw an old lady and I stopped smoking. So the benefits approach. You see, I saw that old lady. She
Mhm.
was about 70, 80 years old, sucking on a cigarette, saw
Yeah.
all the lines. So the
Mhm.
benefit for me was I didn't want to look.
You don't want the smoker
I don't
lines.
want the smoker line. But some people it's health, some people it's
Mhm.
money, some people is they don't want the smell. Some people are just sick and tired of it.
Yeah, the smell is a big one, but also, like, just it ages you, like, your teeth are yellow.
Absolutely. Women tend to notice the aging at about age 50. Men's a
Mhm.
little bit older, maybe 55, 58, but then it really catches up.
Okay. Okay. So, tip 3, change your words from need to want.
Absolutely. So here's the secret to smoking. A lot of people say, I need a cigarette.
Mm.
Mhm. Nobody needs a cigarette. There's not a body on the
Yeah,
planet
it's
that
not
needs.
food
No,
or water.
exactly. There's nothing in a cigarette that the body actually needs. So by shifting your words to, I want a cigarette, often what people think right after that is, well, I don't really want a cigarette. They want relief. Often is relief from stress, worry, boredom, loneliness. And so when we shift from I need a cigarette to I want a cigarette, you allow your mind to start exploring what's really going on here.
So, just the shift in that
Just
is
like,
what you're saying.
yeah, it's all about shifting.
Mm. Okay. Tip 4, change hands?
Yes. I don't know if you've ever smoked or if you've ever done anything, but people smoke with the same hand for decades. Yeah. And so a lot of people smoke with the same hand year after year, decade after decade. And by simply switching to the other hand, it's uncomfortable. It's
Mm.
not a pattern anymore.
Okay.
The subconscious mind can't do it automatically. It has to learn to do it again. And so when we switch hands, we bring more conscious awareness to what we're doing. And it's difficult
So you're saying if I was a right-hand smoker, I just switch to a
to
left-hand
start doing
smoker?
that. It's all about the small little shifts.
Interesting. Okay, tip 5, change the location. What does that mean?
Well, when I'm working with my stop smoking clients, I'll ask them, so when's the first cigarette of the day? And they often say, I get up, I make a cup of coffee, and then I step out onto the balcony, I step
Mhm.
out onto a patio, and they're always the same location.
Okay,
And
it's
so
routine, like where you
yes,
have your coffee and get ready, feel
exactly. They've had this routine for a long, long time. So by making a shift and just moving to a different spot, the whole world changes, your whole perspective changes. And again, your subconscious mind goes, hey, something's
Mm,
different here. You're bringing up awareness of what you're doing instead of that routine, automatic behavior.
very cool. Tip 6, keep a journal of when and where you smoke or vape.
That's right. I know it would be so inconvenient to keep a journal. Oh, well, if you want to stop smoking, you
Mm,
want to stop the routines. You want to start to notice the patterns of when you're smoking, where you're smoking, who you're smoking with, and most importantly, how you're feeling. Because a lot of people smoke because
mm.
they think it's the cigarette that's going to help with stress.
Yeah,
But
or like
then,
help not wanna eat or
absolutely.
yeah.
And so the truth is, after you finish the cigarette, you go back to that stressful situation. So the cigarette really didn't do anything for you in that particular case.
When you're journaling, should you be telling them also or telling your journal how many smokes you're having a day?
Once you start to notice the journal is saying to you, but I'll tell you what, Alexis, most people smoke the same amount of cigarettes day in, day out, regardless of their life,
Mm,
regardless if they're going to
of the
work
stress
or
or
the stress or the weekend or they're on vacation. is often a pack a day. Isn't it interesting how
Yeah.
people smoke a pack a day, but not 21 cigarettes in a day?
Mhm. Well, that's so crazy to think that's a lot of smoking. That's a lot of time and energy just being outside
I
smoking.
Oh, yes, it is. It's an incredible amount of time, and if you think about it, let's say a cigarette takes 5 minutes to smoke, but you
Yeah.
have to get outside
Yeah.
first, and then a lot of people, let's say you're a
Mhm.
hairdresser or in the restaurant industry, you go back in, wash your hands,
Spray
brush your teeth,
yourself.
spray yourself. Now you're taking like 7, 8 minutes, call it 10 minutes, 20 cigarettes a day, 200 minutes a day.
That's a lot of time
That's
that
a
you
lot
could
of
be
time.
spending doing something.
But Alexa, if
Yeah.
the person is lonely or
Yeah.
bored, it's really hard for them to add in that much more time to find to do something else.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, tip 7, understand the thoughts and feelings leading to the result.
Yeah. So, um, that's where the journal really comes in because when you're becoming more aware of your feelings when you're going to smoke or after you're smoking, you'll start to notice the patterns of what's leading up to having the cigarette. And sometimes I find that the feelings are even just escapism,
Mm.
just getting out of a situation. So again, what's driving the behavior? Because again, nobody needs to smoke.
No. Okay. This is I never would have thought this would be a tip, but you can tell me why. Tip 8, switch brands.
Yes, routine, routine, routine.
Mhm.
Yes. Oh, but if I switch brands, I won't like the taste. That's right.
Yeah, so, like, for a smoker, is that a big shift for someone?
It's
They've been smoking the same cigarette for X amount of years, and then you throw in a different brand, and is there really that much difference to cigarettes? I'm not gonna lie, I have smoked a handful of times. I did go through a process where I was smoking because I was like, "Oh, I get why people smoke. It brings you down, you're a little bit less stressed out," or that's the sensation. It's social. But then, yeah, I ended up just throwing out that pack because 'cause I'm like, it's not working." But yeah, like, a brand can really throw people off.
Yeah, there's an identity issue with what brand of cigarettes are you
Mhm.
smoking? What does your package look like? And uh,
Kinda like luxury smoker?
yeah, yeah. So in Canada, many many years ago, when I was a smoker, the packages, I picked Marlboro cigarettes.
Okay.
Yeah, talk about wanting to be American or cool or a
Yeah,
cowgirl or
yeah,
whatever it was.
yeah.
But
This
there's
image.
it was an image. Before that, when I was younger, I used to smoke, oh gosh, what were they? Benson and Hedges menthol cigarettes. They were
Yeah,
super long.
yeah, the
Yeah,
skinny ones?
yeah, the
Yeah.
skinny ones. And so it was all about identity with that. But the taste of cigarettes, it's not good. And if you remember back to when you first started smoking cigarettes,
You
that's
coughed.
yeah, that's really what cigarettes taste like. So again, break the routine.
Okay. Tip 9, use cash to buy cigarettes. Why?
Why? Because, oh my gosh, cigarettes are so expensive now. You're
Yeah.
like over 20 bucks a pack of cigarettes. And can you imagine you put down $20 cash and a little bit of extra,
Yeah.
and all you get back is this package, and you do that day in, day out. No more tapping debit
Yeah.
or credit card. After a while, you start to really feel how much money you're spending on cigarettes, and it can become painful.
Yeah, like, it sounds like if you're smoking a pack a day, like, that's not a cheap habit
No, it's over $600 of after-tax money, if you wanna think about how long does it take you
to
to
make
earn $600?
$600.
Yeah, and, what could that be? It could be a car payment, it could be,
Yeah, a
a
part of your rent,
mortgage and
food
rent.
for the month.
Exactly.
Okay, last tip, choose a specialist, not just a hypnotist.
A hypnotist, yeah. So,
I said
but
that wrong.
no, it's okay.
Mm,
It's a hypnotist is not a super common word in most people's
yeah,
vocabulary,
didn't ring off my tongue.
yeah, like my company name is Flourish
Flourish
Hypnosis, and people go, "Is what?"
flourish hypnosis.
Flourish Hypnosis, but when you're looking for help and you've done all the tips and you really wanna stop and you don't know why you keep going back to it, well, then there's something in the subconscious mind that's driving that behavior. When you work with a specialist who's helped, I'll I'll toot my horn because
Yeah.
I'm really proud of this. I've helped
Yeah.
over 650 people stop smoking,
Yeah.
one-on-one sessions, in since like 2017. And
It's
it
amazing.
feels so good, and I love my clients because they give me referrals,
Yeah.
but I've worked
Really
really
hard.
hard at gaining all the knowledge, and I've come across many different reasons and excuses why people smoke.
Mhm.
So
Like, you've really studied like, the science behind it and the mind and the
I know about the dopamine release from the
yeah.
nicotine that makes people feel good. I know about the marketing techniques of the
Yeah.
tobacco industry. I know the regulations, and most of all, I have this huge compassion for people, so I'll never judge anybody.
Yeah.
And some people struggle a little bit more than others,
Yeah.
and I'm here to help.
Yeah, you're not here to judge, you just generally want them to stop spending money on these
That's
habits,
right.
go on vacation instead or something, and you want their health, and you want them to feel good, and, I mean, we could go on and on, we could do just, like, a whole episode of why and that's not what we're here to do, is telling why the health concerns behind smoking. So, will these techniques also work for something like vaping?
It will work for vaping. Now, there's a slight difference with vaping and smoking.
Mhm.
You see, people have the idea that vaping is a safer alternative.
No, it's not.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, no, it's not. It's just another thing to put in your mouth and to suck on, to
Yeah.
spend your money on, and put stuff in your body that your body doesn't absolutely need.
Mhm.
So, yes, it does work for vaping.
Yeah, because that I would say that's, like, what we're seeing. Like, smoking, you see less people outside smoking maybe, but, these young kids vaping, like, there's way more I see people vaping in their car, I see people vaping at work when you're not supposed to, like, I
Yeah,
so, okay, so we can help vapors as
we can
well.
help vapors too.
Okay, so May 31st is a big day.
It is.
So can you tell us what day it is happening on May 31st?
Sure. So each and every year, May 31st is World No Tobacco
Oh,
Day.
tobacco.
And so this year, what I'd like to do is offer some free workshops
Mm.
for people that want to stop smoking, quit vaping. And in those workshops, there will be about 90 minutes, and we're going to go through some educational bits so you understand what's going on in your mind. And then I'm going to share some craving buster techniques,
Mm.
that knock the cravings for cigarettes and vaping out in a couple moments. And then we're going to actually do some hypnosis to help you come to that tip number one, which is the decision.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very cool. So if you are looking or wanting to stop smoke, or we all know a family member, I can list a handful of people that I want to send to this free event. Check it out. We're gonna put it in the article. It is free.
It is free.
It's awesome. And then yeah, you have 3 different sessions I think you were talking about. So you have 3 opportunities where you could join.
One in the morning at 10:30, 3:30 in the afternoon, and then the evening session at 7 p.m.
So, how can people connect with you if they had more questions after, or had interest, or want to get start the journey? And maybe sometimes it's okay. It doesn't mean you have to quit or try quitting today, but maybe it's something that hopefully maybe we've inspired people that they can do it.
That's right. My first intention is just to get the idea that it's possible to stop smoking or quit vaping on your own.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've created a lot of social media stuff, free videos and audios, and you can find all of those at flourishhypnosis.com, or I am the Stop Smoking Lady.
Yes.
So I have a whole website dedicated to stop smoking at thestopsmokylady.com.
I love that. Okay, well, I mean, I don't smoke, but I feel like I learned a lot. And like I said, we always have people in our life where you want them to live longer. You want them to be around. And a part of that is quitting smoking. So thank you so much for telling us the 10 free tips on how to stop smoking. And then, yeah, go check out the free events or share because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power, and that's what I want my clients to walk away with after a session, the knowledge, so they can just continue living that healthy life.
Amazing. And there will be other episodes coming where we talk about, I think we want to do an episode on gut because
Yep,
that's really big right now. I think,
gut-directed
yeah.
hypnotherapy.
Weight loss is everyone, I feel like, struggles at some point in their life with weight. So that would be a cool one. So stay tuned. We'll be doing this once a month and have a great day.